just happened. I never done it. I have it just saw I had happened to have a box, and that I saw. I just grab it and just play with, and I like the texture part of it, which is kind of neat, and but it's hard to blend because it's just very greasy, and this is done the shoe bell was done with I think it's ballpoints plus just a white white color pencils, and this guy feel like has some little wash underneath it. So as you can see, I like to play. I like to just mix things up. This was done with a brown artist pen. I might do that today. I've been using the black one for several lessons, and I just want to switch it up. And this is just just more of just kind of a sketch, like almost like what I would do if I draw on occasions, just like kind of daily sketches. So this actually was a demo. Again, I think I was using a ballpoint, which we're going to do that today too, to use the warm and cool colors, to create some variations on that on the ostrich. This is just a sketch. Sometimes I'll teach like the courses. I'll do my demo lecture. Once that's done, I just sketch on my own. So those like that brown artist pen, and this one just basically just my my kind of just sketches. Not for demo, not for lecture. You can tell what part of lecture. This is a lectures, and talking about how the articulation of the wing works. Again, the ballpoint, go over some green and red to create some temperature difference. Talk about the different of the ostrich feet and emu feet. They're crazy looking and all, and then at the same time it's very impressive the way that the way they design. This was talking about the different type of feet, construction joint, throw some marker over, just give some tone. And then, all right, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so at first, so let's look at skull. So not over like that, like this. Most of them, which on the top plane, we can almost see a V shapes. And this forehead drop. This is forehead area, and dig down to where the between the eye socket, and then the beak stick out like that. And then the eye socket will sit on the side. This can be an eagle skull, or an eagle is going to get more aggressive because they have this hook that goes around and make it looks very aggressive. Or if I shorten the beak, it looks like owl. Owl has an even bigger eye socket.
I know that.
Like that. Take that over. So look for these shapes. And one thing also might hard to see on the skull. Later when we look at the picture, you'll see the beak actually doesn't just start right at the end of the face. That they actually kind of most of it they actually insert into it. You will see the beak kind of goes down like this and goes into like almost toward the eyes. So the whole unit's connect up into the head. All right, and then so if you draw, let's see. Let me do like a cow.
Macau.
And this is what I look for often is that shapes, for something to be will just kind of flow right into the eyes in this case. Something like that. It's probably going to square off a little bit more like this. All right. And all right. Let me clean this up. Okay. Let's look at the wing. So you got the humerus, which sits right here. And here's here's the radius and ulna. They fuse together because they can rotate what we can. So here's the carpals and then the carpals. So basically that's their fingers. Alright, so the wing design is mainly thick. It can get more complicated, but we recently keep it simple. So there is three sections of the wing. The right here, right here, where's basically their hands. This is where the primary wings. looks
It's
sort of
pretty
more straight on one side, and more aggressive on the other side, like a little chopping knife. Obviously, depends on the angle too. If you're looking more toward this midsection, you got a little bit on the feather on the other side. But they're larger.
You really don't. I know. Oh, okay, like this.
And you got the secondary wing, which sits in this midsection, the forearm sections. And they look a little more like a barrel, longer barrel shapes.
Look like muscle fibers in a way.
And the last section, which is the upper arms, right by the armpit, the tertiary, which they look just as the secondary wing, but just shorter. So later, if you look at the reference, you always, depends on reference. A lot of times you can study and look at the bird fly, especially when they land and take off. You can see, especially when they land, you can see the separations, the folds of the primary wing folds forward to kind of reduce the speed. You can see they breaks. All right, so let's look at some pictures. Oh, I have an ostrich head here. It's perfect.
Yay, an ostrich.
That macaw, I didn't like how they turn out, but you can see it although because the camera's lower, but you can get a sense of this shape, the V shape up there on top of his head. So you go all the way to the top of the beak right here.
Oh, hey there. I've tried.
And you can see how it connect right in front of the eyes. And so this digs in and then digs in. It comes out. Just like this, digs in, comes out. going through, finding the diagonal relationships, as I always do. And that's why you get this
I never understood that
egg shape right
diagonal.
here on the back of the mouth. I'm not quite sure why it's that, but there's a shape. That's all I care for. I'm not gonna kind of shape this completely. Just get basic showing you, proving to you this how that all kind of relates. And later we'll do more of the finer ones, and just drop them, just goes over. Mainly, I want you guys to get that sense of understanding the structure. Just turn it down. Once you understand where those planes goes, like I said, you can shade it.
I wish I had.
All right, so that's that. All right, let's look at some more pictures.